Good afternoon from Broadfield Stadium as Brighton and Hove Albion host Leicester City here in the Women's Super League. There are 2 league games remaining in 2023, and with just a single point between them, both sides are hoping to create further distance between themselves and the relegation zone before Christmas. Brighton are still winless at home in the league this season, but have had some eye-catching results on the road. Leicester, meanwhile, made a super start to the campaign, but all of a sudden are without a win in their last 6 WSL matches, home and away. So which team might find some form this afternoon on what is a very wet and rainy day here in Sussex? Both sets of players going through the pre-match handshakes. Not much separates them so far this season. And a good crowd expected today at Broadfield despite the weather. And as far as the team news is concerned this afternoon, 2 changes for Brighton following the disappointing defeat at Liverpool before the international break. Yorelin Karabali and England's Katie Robinson both dropped to the bench. In come Poppy Pattinson and the Greek international Beatrice Sarri. Elizabeth Turland has been the potent goal-scoring threat this season for Brighton. She's scored 5 of their 8 WSL goals. Now Leicester's only change, the side beaten at Chelsea last time out, sees Josie Green come into the team in place of Courtney Nevin. It's a day where Leicester go in search of just their 2nd clean sheet of the campaign. Going forward, Janice Cayman was in great form prior to the international break. She's scored in 3 of her last 4 games. Well, the 2 captains will be called to the centre circle now by the referee Melissa Bergin. You can see how torrential the rain is, and it has been throughout the build-up to the game so far. As Vicky Lasada and Eileen Whelan go head-to-head before kick-off. Eileen Whelan, who used to play for Brighton and Hove Albion, spent 5 seasons at the club and helped them to the Women's Super League. The Brighton are mainstays these days. So they start the day 3 points off the bottom of the table. Leicester 4 clear of the drop zone. Maybe slightly more concerningly for Willie Kirk's side, no win in their last 6. Brighton have had some good results in their last 5 matches. 1-2, lost 2, drawn 1, but that defeat to Liverpool last time out was, I think, very disappointing for everybody concerned. And it will be Brighton and Hove Albion to get us underway in their traditional blue and white. Both sets of players take the knee ahead of kick-off. The message, a defiant one: there is no room for discrimination of any kind. Here we go then, off and underway in the penultimate game of this calendar year for Brighton and Leicester. And the Foxes start a point ahead of the Seagulls. Both teams seeking their 3rd wins of the campaign. A good start, you feel, is vital for both. And Brighton looking to make some headway straight away. And the offside flag has gone up against Turland, who put it in the net. A run halted pretty quickly by the offside flag that, in fairness to the assistant, did go up almost instantly. Nonetheless, an early warning, a very early warning for Leicester City. You simply can't afford to give Elizabeth Turland that sort of time and space. It really is a remarkable statistic, goal-scoring proficiency in the WSL so far this year. More than 60% of Brighton's goals have been scored by Turland. Leicester, who began with 2 wins from 2 in the league this season, but have struggled for form really since then. Janice Cayman thought that she was going to be able to take a throw, but in fact it has gone the way of Brighton and Hove Albion. That's a decent ball by Sarri towards Turland, and some lovely footwork as well. Pauline Bremers making the run ahead of her. It's come all the way through though to Poppy Pattinson. And that's a decent block. Really good start this from Brighton early on. The home team are making all of the early running. And they are winless in 6 home matches in the WSL Brighton, going back to last season, in fact, the 7th of May. And Melissa Phillips' side are determined to give a reaction to what she described as a performance away at Liverpool that was far from their best. Quick turnaround, of course, for players on both teams who've come back from international duty. Good work defensively there from Charlie's Rule, but Leicester City might still be on the attack. The chances in the end come to nothing. I think again the assistant referee had the flag up on the near side of the field. Brighton will leave the free kick to goalkeeper Sophie Bagley, who statistically has been up there with the very best in terms of goalkeepers in the WSL this season. She's had plenty of shots to face. And Brighton and Hove Albion have already conceded 19 goals, the joint second worst tally in the division coming into the weekend. And that's something that they are desperate to be quick to remedy. Hoisted away by Sophie Howard, the Scotland international, who played in the 6-0 hammering by England in the build-up to the weekend. And clearly the message sent to these Brighton Hove Albion players is start strong. It's given away though by Torres Dottir. And maybe Leicester City with the opportunity to break up the middle. Here is Catherine Bott. Now Josie Green. Blocked off by Pauline Bremer. They've had some big crowds at Broadfield Stadium so far this season of Brighton, including a club record crowd for the visits of Arsenal. It's a completely miss-hit cross by Bott on what is a difficult surface, you have to say. Taken on lots of water, and still the rain is tumbling down from up above. Cleared upfield by Bagley. Bremer went down. Thought she was fouled. No free kick given by the referee Melissa Bergin. Julie Thibault, the summer signing at Leicester from Bordeaux, will take the throw. All the way back to goalkeeper Janina Leitzig, who was such a revelation for Leicester City after joining mid-season from Bayern Munich, and it was her arrival coupled with the change in management that saw Willie Kirk come to the club that helped prove pivotal in Leicester's remarkable recovery to WSL survival last season. Howard. And now Leitzig again. Oh, that's a risky pass. And Howard has managed to keep it in play. It could have gone anywhere from Samantha Tierney. Got to be so careful on a slippery surface like this. The ball can really run away from you. Bremer trying to keep it in play, but blocked off by the former Tottenham player Green. And now here is Bott. Trying to thread it up the middle. Torres Dottir doing well and winning the free kick. In front of Lena Peterman, whose 2 Leicester City goals today to both come in their 2 WSL victories so far this season. A flying start to the campaign away at Bristol City, followed up by the home win over Everton, where Leicester picked up their only clean sheet of the campaign so far. Forward by Whelan. It's strange for a player coming up against your old club. Interception by Bott. Back it goes to Leipzig. Spun off the boot of Guro Bergsvand.
CJ, I think you can hold your wrist a bit. You can hold your wrist a little bit. We've got good numbers in there. Good. Yeah, good.
And they went up towards the centre of the field and Rantala. And come back though to Thibaut. All the way back to the goalkeeper again. Away form this season for Leicester includes that win at Bristol City, a decent draw at Manchester United, a late defeat to Liverpool. They did give Chelsea a scare, but eventually beaten by 5-2. It was quite a lot to take, certainly from an attacking perspective, from that performance for Willie Kirk. And this week confirmed that he's strengthened his squad ahead of the January transfer window. Saori Takarada, the Japanese international, will join Leicester at the start of next year. Here's Howard. Going to go crossfield this time, and Cayman can't keep hold of it. Beautifully worked by Brighton Hove Albion, and the chance is on here. Can Sarri pull it across? It's gone behind. Both sets of players look towards the referee. It was the Greek international Sarri trying to deliver. Thibaut was tracking back, and it will be a corner to Brighton, the first of the game so far. And they've made a relatively positive start, the home team. And actually, there's a good deal of aerial ability in the team as well, in terms of the centre halves, Bergsvand and Torres Dottir. Sarri delivers this one in high. Dealt with by Peterman doing her defensive work. It's Pauline Bremer though. Smuggled away by Green, picked up by Amy Palmer. Howard playing it out of the defence to Bott, and Green has given it away. It was only half intercepted though by Pattinson. Knocked forward, an intelligent ball by Tierney, and here's the opportunity for Rantala to play it forwards. And the offside flag is up again. Aileen Whelan is spinning and turning against her old club. The shot was blocked, but it would have been ruled out had it ended up in the back of the net. Good run that by Yuta Rantala. Whelan had just strayed into an offside position. A good competitive start though to this game. Leicester have got a good record against Brighton, you have to say. They've won more WSL games and kept more clean sheets against the Seagulls than against any other team in this competition. Brighton desperate, I think, to turn their home form around. They're always well backed here at Broadfield. Hasn't necessarily translated into results though. That's lovely football by Leicester. It's Palmer's ball out towards the left in Cayman. Rantala is going to go back out to Thibaut. Now Howard. Leicester trying to stretch the play. Janice Cayman. Rantala. Lovely ball back to Cayman. Peterman among those in the middle. There's her header! And it's just wide of the target. Elena Peterman rising highest. Lovely build-up play this from Leicester City, and a delightful ball in too from Janice Cayman, perfectly aimed at Peterman. Got above her marker, but couldn't get it on target. Now there's a Leicester City player down, injured momentarily. That's why play has been stopped, and a chance for both Willie Kirk and Melissa Phillips to pass on instructions, and players can take on water. Always an exciting time of year, this, but a particularly important time for both clubs. Time running out in terms of the end of the year. And I think it was Catherine Bott who was down injured, and I think Leicester City might be forced into a change here. Courtney Nevin is stripped and ready to come on, and an early end to the afternoon for the New Zealander. Off goes Bott, and Courtney Nevin, who started the defeat away to Chelsea last time out, wasn't off the field of play for very long at all. Ultimately, 13 minutes into the game, and Nevin onto the field. Leicester forced into an early change. It looked relatively innocuous initially, that injury, but off goes Bott. Bagley gets the game back underway for Brighton. Shepherded out of play by Pattinson. And Kuhlberg comes across to take the throw. Neat little touch by Turland. Sarri. That front three is looking dangerous for Brighton so far. Sarri's got Pattinson in support, calling for it. Can she get the delivery right? Good work by the retreating Cayman, who's come across the near side now. And opportunity for Brighton here as it's delivered into the penalty area. It was a cross that the goalkeeper would have expected to have held. Maisie Simons with the ball in. And straightforward enough for Janila Leitzig. The goalkeeper's had a serious save to make in the game just yet. A bit of pressure on Bergsvand. Excellent high press from Leicester City to win it back. A tackle, though, coming in from Lasada at the vital moment. The Brighton captain trying to launch an attack, but she quickly loses out. Here is Howard for Leicester. And she was fouled by Elizabeth Turland. Away by Torres Dottir. Howard again. Thibault. There was a little bit of a miscommunication there. Thibault and Green, Nevin rather, who's only just come on. Lots to look forward to on the FA Player, including right now, where you can catch live commentary of Liverpool against Bristol City. That was a 2 o'clock start, just like this game here. And in 45 minutes or so, West Ham United take on Everton. That game from the WSL, also live here on the FA Player. Here's Thibault. Gave a few chances so far at Broadfield. Peterman holds it up well. Crossfield from Rantala and taken in her stride expertly by Josie Green. Good tackle coming in though from Bremer. There's so much experience that Caroline Bremer's got, of course. Days at Lyon and Manchester City and Wolfsburg. An appearance in the Champions League final last season for Bremer. Green takes the throw. Peterman dropping deep. Away by Bremer. Turland. Lovely little touch. She knew where Bremer was going to be. Losada's forward in support. Bremer was surely being fouled by Green, maybe 3 times, and the referee eventually does stop the game, although it looked like Brighton had the advantage, if anything. A yellow card, had to be a yellow card for Josie Green for really the most cynical of attempted challenges. 2 or 3 times she really tried to just trip Pauline Bremer, who'd beaten her for pace. Brighton thought they were in, and I think they're a bit disappointed that the referee actually didn't let play carry on. Simons and Sarri are the 2 over the ball. Can Brighton make the free kick count? Well, it's been a pretty even game so far. Still waiting for that long-awaited first home league win of the campaign, that they did beat West Ham United in the Conti Cup here recently. Simons to whip that one in dangerously, and Torres Dottir at the far post couldn't get the vital touch. Centre half still looking for her first Brighton Hove Albion goal. Lovely ball in this from Maisie Simons. And Torres Dottir ended up closest to it, couldn't turn it in. Here is Julie Thibault, as Leicester trying to build from the back. Sophie Howard. Now Josie Green to Janice Kamen. Kamen's got to the loose ball. Spun off. And Sam Tierney in the middle midfield for Leicester. Here's Losada. Birdsvan was just calling for options. Hammered away by Thibault. Charlie's Rule goes across to take the throw. Looking for Sarri, who wins a throw of her own. Good run that by Turland to peel away from Thibault. Now Pattinson. I knew what she wanted to do, but overhit towards Bremer. A difficult surface to play precisely on this one, given the rain that we had in the build-up. By Howard. The loose ball drops nicely for Whelan. Now Kamen. Good run ahead of her from Samantha Tierney to cross. Cleared away initially by Torres Dottir for Brighton, forward by Bremer. Dealt with by Sophie Howard. Whelan. Maybe a bit of extra motivation for her today up against her old team, but Turland trying to cause problems at the other end. The free kick's eventually gone the way of Leicester, much to the disappointment of the home fans. Peterman couldn't reach that, beaten to it by Torres Dottir. There's Vicky Losada. Another player who brings great experience to the Brighton ranks, a summer arrival from Roma, and handed the captaincy in September. And Bremer wants a free kick and does eventually get the decision. Here is Rule. Sarri trying to Dart away from Thibaut, who tracked her all the way. Both teams engineered amazing escapes from relegation last season. Leicester, who had that awful losing start to the campaign, they didn't win a single point in the first chunk of the season, their first 9 games, all of those in 2022. Turned things around in the second half of the campaign. And Brighton were in real trouble when Melissa Phillips was appointed in April. In fact, they were bottom of the table, but a great run of form towards the end of the campaign eventually got them out of danger as well. Both teams aiming to avoid a repeat of a relegation battle again this season. Forward by Janina Leitzig. Didn't quite drop for Peterman, cleared away by Torres-Dottir. Now Bremer's touch towards Turland. Well, she expected the flag to go up. You could see that by her body language, and in the end it did. It's clearly in an offside position. Here's Thibaut. That's a good sliding challenge from Palmer. Had to time that perfectly. Nothing to choose from really between the two teams so far. In fact, Lena Peterman has probably had the best chance. That header that flashed just wide. Here she is on the ball again now. And the shot is deflected away from danger. It looked like it was Rantala who struck it. And both sides struggling to carve out really clear-cut opportunities in the game so far. Here's Bremer. Thibaut. Simons. Back it goes to Bergsvand. Good football by Brighton. Building away forward from the defensive third, and now Rule looking to turn defence into attack. Good run that by Turland. Held it up neatly in front of Courtney Nevin. Sarri delivers. And Asada, it was going to be difficult to control that. On by Green. Last touch off Peterman. Kuhlberg. Howard's got to do something with this. Last touch came off Whelan. Forward by Green. Leicester pretty solid defensively so far, but again, Bagley, just like Leitzig, has not had much to do in the game. It's come off Pattinson. They do tend to be pretty solid in the first halves of matches, do Leicester City, in terms of when they've conceded their goals in the WSL so far this season. 5 out of 18 before half-time. And that reflected in some of the hammerings they've taken recently. They were 2-0 up against Arsenal before going on to lose 6-2 at the King Power Stadium. Here's Bremer. Well, she looked like she kept that in play. Does win the throw. Good sliding tackle coming in from Amy Palmer. And Poppy Pattinson leaving the throw for Kuhlberg. Bremer peeling away. Green came across and Brighton have a corner. Despite not winning a home league game so far this season, they have had some good performances here. Have Brighton a 2-2 draw at home to Manchester United, where they conceded a very late equaliser, having gone in front in the game late on. And the defeat to Arsenal was a relatively close run thing until very late on in that game. Simons has taken it short. Now then, Pattinson's got time to deliver in the cross. Only half cleared. Thibault did look like she was pulled to ground, and that's the way the referee's seen it as well. There's some in the Brighton camp calling for a penalty kick, but it looked like there was the tug of the shirt from Bergsvand on Thibault, and Melissa Bergin saw it that way too. Here's Howard. Both sides matching each other up in terms of shape, and that has maybe been partly why they've cancelled each other out for the most part. Willie Kirk, a very vocal presence on the touchline as ever, the Scot. It's such a difficult task that he walked into last season. And similarly difficult for Melissa Phillips at Brighton. It was a pretty chaotic campaign last year for Brighton and Hove Albion. 3 permanent managers and a couple of interim spells in caretaker charge for Amy Merricks. Flag up again. This time Whelan caught out. Melissa Phillips maybe not entirely happy with the decision. The head coach born in California. Lasada bursting up the middle. And now here comes Sarri. Well blocked by Thibault. Suddenly for a second there, Brighton were just in behind Leicester City. All thanks to the strength and power of Vicky Lasada. Shrugged aside Yuta Rantala and then looked for Sarri. Maybe could have cut back inside onto her left foot, but didn't have a great deal of space to work with, in fairness. Brighton racking up the corner count. Can they get themselves into the lead? Sarri to whip it in, and well taken by Leipzig. Looking to start a counter-attack, and Rantala's chasing, but Pattinson did enough. Oh, Rantala threatening to win it back off Kuhlberg. Cayman pressing hard. Pattinson, and then across came Tierney, and it's a very messy passage of play that ends actually with good composure from Maisie Simons to keep possession. It's away by Torres Dottir. Sarri, Brighton have done superbly well there to work the angle to launch a counter. Here is Rule. Gets it back from Sarri. Simons. Rantala on the counter for Leicester. Peterman was making the run really through the middle. There wasn't much of an angle for Rantala there, and again the attack ultimately peters out. Actually scored more goals than expected this season, Leicester, if you look at their XG over the game so far. been quite clinical when chances have come their way generally. Away by Sophie Howard. Now Pattinson. Whelan, good footwork. Palmer out to Thibault. Here's Courtney Nevin. Rantala, tackled by Lasada. Pauline Bremer. Here is Howard. Both sides just looking for that attacking inspiration in the game. Defensively, both have been well organised. There's been some decent play in the middle third of the field and some promising build-up play, but lacking that clinical edge up to this point. I have to credit both defences for protecting the goalkeepers very well in the game. Sarri doing her defensive work diligently, and then a lovely bit of skill. And Pattinson's ball towards Simons, maybe overhit, and that really sums up the game so far. Moments of promise, but ultimately not the execution. Peterman's held that up. Torres Dottir there on the cover. Lasada. Lovely bit of skill to bring that down. Kuhlberg. It's been almost as lively on the near side touchline. And Willie Kirk, very vocal throughout. He's had to help Hannah Kane through her latest injury concern. Another unfortunate ACL injury picked up on international duty. Here's Rantala, and now Nevin with a shooting opportunity, and it's turned over the top by Kuhlberg. And Courtney Nevin with a decisive goal, and finally, Brighton were exposed there defensively, ruled out of position, and struck firmly and powerfully by Nevin, and Kuhlberg got the touch. The Swede to turn it over the top. Maybe the clearest sight of goal for either team so far. It is a Leicester City corner. It's Jutta Rantala to take it right underneath the crossbar. Dealt with well by Rule. Back in by Rantala again. And Rule was there again. Nevin. Here is Green. There's still plenty forward here for Leicester. Plenty back though for the home side. Tierney playing it square. Taken up by Thibault. In by Nevin. Rantala skipped away from Pattinson, who's clearly hurt herself. Rantala crosses. There might be an injury concern for Brighton and Hove Albion here. We'll see how Pattinson recovers, if she can recover. It did seem to be limping. Just trying to run it off at the moment. And meanwhile, here is Sarri. And Pattinson on the ball. And good to see that I think she's okay. Away by Green. Little header by Kamen. Pattinson trying to hook it on, but Green is there again. Lasada won it back fair and square off Whelan. Now here's Charlie's rule. He's in towards Turnand. It could still come back for Elizabeth Turnand here. Howard had to make a brave block. And that'll be another Brighton and Hove Albion corner. Well, maybe just signs that the game is opening up a little bit. We're starting to see half chances come. Sarri to deliver once again. Most of the corners have been from that side. Sarri in swinging and left-footed, and away by Thibaut through a crowd. Here's Rantala. Turnand, lovely spin and turn! And it's gathered by Leipzig. Well, that's the sort of opportunity that she can really thrive off. With her goal-scoring record so far this season, she might have felt, well, maybe she could have done better. And spun Howard with ease. The goalkeeper had a simple save to make in the end. Here is Kuhlberg. That shot from Elizabeth Turnand, probably the closest Brighton have come. Amy Palmer for Leicester. We have the better of it in terms of the half chances. Rantala back out wide to Nevin. Rantala was calling for it again. Couldn't quite make space, sandwiching between two Brighton players. He's been stopped here by the referee. Is there a problem with the on-field communication, maybe, the headset? I think there is. There's some sort of equipment issue for Melissa Bergin. To get us back underway. At least the rain seems to have stopped. Not quite as gloomy here in Sussex as it was earlier. Green. Thibaut got to be careful. Gets it back from Palmer, who showed for it. Hitterman. A little shove in the back from Torres Dottir. On by Howard. Not too much on that ultimately for Courtney Nevin. They did win their first meeting with Leicester City, did Brighton, back in November 2011, but Leicester certainly have the better of this fixture in recent times, 2021, that first meeting rather. Really minimal though the chances in the game so far. 2 of them for Leicester. Just the one snapshot from Turland for Brighton really. Here come Leicester with Rantala to swing in the cross, and Sophie Bagley takes it well above Aileen Whelan. A quick word for the Leicester City captain from the referee.
Julie, don't let Ned mark that player.
Pumping header from Bremer, back towards their own goal. Bergsvan has to be careful, under pressure from Peterman. He goes to Torres Dottir. Turland on the chase, and she's done enough to shrug aside Howard, who got completely the wrong side, and Bremer couldn't control it. Pattinson, there has been some nice interplay at times in that front three for Brighton, just not been consistent enough. Bremer trying to break through, played it through the legs of Green, but Bremer unable to keep the attack going. On by Bergsvan. Straight out of play. Here's Green.
Stay in there, Joe, stay in there.
Leitzig. A little flick by Peterman. She might get through here. Oh, what a finish! That is a stunning goal from Lena Peterman for Leicester City. Almost out of nothing, she punishes the defensive mistake, and how? It's a simple high ball forward. Kuhlberg doesn't deal with it, charged down by Peterman, who then lets fly. It's a fantastic finish. And some appeals from the Brighton back line. I think possibly, do they feel, was there a handball in there? As Peterman charged it down. But when she struck it, it went like an arrow into the top corner. And as we enter 3 minutes of added time at Broadfield, Leicester have found a bolt from the blue to really ignite this game. It was petering away to the half-time whistle. And the quality of the finish, I have to say, not quite in keeping with what we had seen up to that point, but it was a stunner. Lena Peterman, who scored goals in each of Leicester's first 2 wins this season, has scored again here. And they're in again with Rantala. And an opportunity for Kamen! And she's blocked off. A combination of goalkeeper and defender, and I think the offside flag was up anyway. Free kick went the way of Brighton. There must have been an offside in the build-up, as Kamen and Tierney both look to break through. Here goes Pattinson. Can Brighton hit back after being hit with a sucker punch? Kramer had Turland in the middle waiting for the cross, but Howard came across. It looked for all the world that we'd be heading into half-time with the score 0-0. That is not going to be the case. Is there a chance of a late equaliser before half-time for the home team? Kuhlberg will take the throw. Gets it back from Pattinson, and last touch was surely off Kuhlberg there. He left to Kuhlberg. Time is rapidly running out in the first half for Brighton and Hove Albion. Barely enough time to take the throw. Turland couldn't hold it up. And eventually, Tierney was fouled. That is the half-time whistle. Well, a half that really was flat for the most part up until the very last moments of it. Lena Peterman with a stunning strike, left-footed on the half volley, to give Leicester City the lead. On balance, the Foxes maybe just about deserved it. They'd edged it prior to the goal in terms of half chances. Brighton have very rarely threatened, just the one effort on target for them. Elizabeth Turland sending the ball straight at Janina Leipzig. Leicester City heading for a first WSL victory since early October. At half-time, Brighton Hove Albion 0, Leicester City 1. And let's take a look at the half-time highlights. Well, this is the story of the game so far. Lena Peterman with a near-post header. Couldn't quite find the target. At the other end, chances have been very few and far between for the home team, who have struggled at home this season, the WSL. Maria Torres-Dottir unable to get on the end of the free kick. This was Vicky Losada finding Beatrice Sarri in what was a rare Brighton burst forward. Leicester created the better of the half chances before the goal. Courtney Nevin with another. That's an excellent block by Emma Kuhlberg. Now, this is the only effort on target that Brighton had in the first half. Turland straight at Leipzig. And at the other end, right on half-time virtually, came the only goal so far. And Brighton appealed for handball against Peterman. But what a finish nonetheless. Rifled it into the top corner for a stunner. Her third WSL goal of the season so far. And it's the visitors with the advantage at the break. Second half commentary to come on the FA Player at half-time. Brighton 0, Leicester 1.
The greatest women's footballer of all times, I think definitely Marta. She just does her own thing and she's on a different level.
Marta from Brazil. She has just been so great in the women's football, just her technique, everything, the way she played.
Hope Solo, because she changed the goalkeeper game.
I'm going to say Kelly Smith. Stick with the English and yeah, I mean, what a talent she was.
Beyonce? I would say Beyonce. Because her moves are great and the way she it's just, she is a whole package, you know.
Definitely Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Greatest singer, Whitney Houston.
Ed Sheeran.
I quite like Chris Brown, Ed Sheeran. Pick between the two.
No, the greatest kit is definitely my Chelsea kit. Am I even allowed to say anything else?
I like the current Canadian kit. I'm a fan right now.
I think the reversible England kit I used to have as a kid, I loved that.
From the German national team, the under-17 jersey.
My Mercurial. I like the pink one we had the last time, but I also like the white ones I'm wearing now, so...
There was this light blue Adidas X's.
Probably got to be the Adidas Preds, the like whitey cream with the red tongue. Yeah.
Oh, I remember my first boots, my first Nikes. Those were my greatest boots.
It's a German one.
Okay.
Fuck you, Goethe.
I like Ariel. I'm just gonna say that's not the greatest film, but I'm just gonna say it because it's my favorite right now.
Well, my favourite is Love and Basketball. Not sure if many people have seen that.
The greatest rom-com ever, The Notebook or something.
I mean, I love the Titanic, the Notebook. I'm a quite emotional person, you know what I mean? So yeah, like I go for the Notebook.
I'd say Wembley and Emirates. They're both pretty beautiful.
The greatest stadium that I've played in, definitely Wembley, especially when it's crowded.
Stade de la Maison. It was our opening game in the 2019 World Cup versus Cameroon, so Memorial Stadium.
Parc des Princes in France and Allianz Arena in Munich.
Anfield. Anfield's amazing stadium. The people, the supporters, everything. Yeah, I just love the stadium.
I've actually only been to one concert, and it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. That was a really good one. I don't know if I can top that one with a better one.
Greatest concert, Beyonce.
Ed Sheeran.
I'd probably say Kim Little. Yeah, top talent, and I mean her ability on the ball is incredible.
Greatest player that I've played with is Marta.
Georgia Stanway.
I have some nice English players like Lucy Bronze, Alex Greenwood. I have some nice players over here, so it's hard to actually decide.
I'm gonna say Kadisha Buchanan.
I must say like a family holiday. Back to Bosnia with visiting all my family.
I went to the Bahamas. Yeah, that was pretty special. Very beautiful.
Last year to Zakynthos with my girlfriend. It was very nice and chill, relaxed, so yeah.
A surf camp in Portugal and Faro with my family in Portugal as well.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica in 2012.
Serena Williams is amazing. In Sweden, Zlatan. Everyone knows who Zlatan is, right?
I think Bastian Schweinsteiger.
I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan.
I would say Serena Williams. Yeah, just created an incredible legacy.
I like oatmeal raisin. I know a lot of people don't like that. You like that?
I like that.
It's not a biscuit, but like a cinnamon roll.
Oreo.
I'd probably say chocolate hobnob.
I think that's soon. My child is gonna be there, so that's gonna be my greatest present ever. I can't wait for that.
A tour to the Harry Potter studios.
I'd probably say my Burberry bum bag. I literally take it everywhere with me, so it's got to be that.
Greatest meal, oxtail, rice and peas.
You have Caribbean roots?
Yeah, Jamaican.
I don't have a particular meal, but Japanese food is my favourite, so any of them restaurants.
Definitely mom's Balkan food. Oh, I miss it so much.
Pasta from my mom.
Never stop believing in yourself and always be happy because the good days are still there around the corner.
Believing in yourself, really. I think that's the main one.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Behind the athlete you've become and the hours of practice, there's a little girl who just fell in love with the game. Play for her.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Pinto and this is Get to Know. I think Brighton is the perfect project. The club has such a good vision and it's a very ambitious club. And I just think I suit here very good. So I'm really happy to join Brighton and looking forward for the next season. Very good. It's very sunny right now in this moment. So I'm really enjoying the time here, knowing a lot of new players, the staff, the club, everything here, but I am feeling very happy in the moment with everyone here. No, in personal, no, but I knew about Pauline, about Vicky, about Robo. That was some few faces that I already saw in other games. So yeah, I'm just very excited to know all of them and to learn a bit from them also. Very good, very close to us, very worried to know our concerns, very close. So very excited to start with the team and to to start the league with everyone. Well, that's a good question. No, I think my main goal is to open doors for more Portuguese players coming into the WSL. I think we are very talented players, we just need opportunities. So this is my main goal, and of course have a big impact in the team and help the club to be very successful. So I define myself as a collective player. Like, I will put the interests of the team first. That's my main thing, and I'm very aggressive. I like to have the ball. I'll do whatever it takes to help my teammates, my team. But yeah, and I think I am a very smart player. I think I can help my teammates, yeah. I think it's crazy, the difference right now. It's the league is so competitive, so good. The facilities in every club, it's just crazy. I think any player now wants to be in this league because they can really perform in the highest level. So yeah, I'm just here because now I feel 100% an athlete and I can perform in my highest level, so very happy. Oh, that's lovely. People saying blue and white suits me, so I hope that's true. No, it's just lovely. I love the strips, the seagull. I'm in love, really.
Hi, I'm Laia Codina, and this is Get to Know. I think that Arsenal has been always a great club, and now the project with women is so exciting, and this is why I'm here, because I think that we can achieve a lot of titles. Good. I think that there's a nice group, and the players are helping me a lot, and all the staff. There's a good environment to grow up and to still winning a lot. No, I know maybe some girls because I faced with them during the World Cup, but not I didn't been with them before. Leah Walty. Good, I think that not only him, all the staff is very familiar. So I think that for the people who are new, is good because it's easy to stealing in. I'm a young player. I have to grow up a lot, and I think that here is the best option, and we will see. But I only think that we can achieve a lot of titles with the team. That's our goal. I think that I'm an aggressive player. I think that I'm very brave, or I try to be very brave, because I think that it's a good thing for a player. And I will also, with the ball, I think that I'm good building up. That's all. I already say that I love it. I don't know, this goal here is very, I don't know, it's very brilliant, and I think that there's a lot of, in this shirt, there's a lot of history, and it's nice to feel that.
And welcome back to Broadfield Stadium with Leicester City a goal up on Brighton and Hove Albion here in the Women's Super League. Elena Paterman with a fine first half strike right at the end of normal time to separate the two teams. Brighton have flattered to deceive for the most part going forward themselves. No changes at half-time for either side. Brighton go in search of an equaliser. Of course, their home record is not good so far this year. Leicester are looking for what would be their first league victory in 7, but of course, they have shown a tendency to collapse in the second halves of matches at times so far this year. Could yet all to be played for. Long way still to go. But it is Leicester with the single goal advantage. Hit early to Courtney Nevin, and this looks like it's come straight off the training ground. Paterman back to Nevin again, right at the start of the second half. And it's Palmer's strike, and now Tierney, and in! What a start to the second half for Leicester. Jutta Rantala has made it 2-0. They finished the first half brilliantly, and they have started the second even better. Jutta Rantala with another fine finish, placed with precision and placed to perfection. And all of Brighton's half-time work has gone right out of the window. They suddenly have it all to do. And Leicester are clinical again in front of goal. That was 20 seconds or so into the second half I made it, when Rantala's effort hit the back of the net, and the Finnish attacker who scored in their previous game, the 5-2 defeat at Chelsea, has scored again. And what an opening to the second 45 for Willie Kirk's team. There might be some more issues for Brighton to contend with here. Looks like Turnand has gone down. Well, really, it could hardly have started any worse, this second half for Brighton. There may be some home supporters who are still retaking their seats, and now they have the prospect of arguably their key player, Elizabeth Turnand, potentially injured. Loyal Brighton supporters here on a chilly day in Sussex, where we've had lots of rain. At least it's brightened up a bit for them in terms of the weather, but it certainly hasn't brightened up in terms of the scoreline. In fact, it's just got much worse. Turnand back on her feet, it would seem. And Brighton are going to be temporarily down to 10, but Turnand will be back on very quickly. Brighton still rocking, maybe, from that second Leicester goal. So Leicester comfortable at the moment, but lots of action elsewhere right now on the FA Player, including commentary of Liverpool against Bristol City into the second half at Liverpool. And they've only just kicked off in the game between West Ham United and Everton. Again, that is live right now on the FA Player. Another busy day of action across another busy weekend in the Women's Super League, and talking points at the top and bottom end of the table. Of course, for both Brighton and Leicester, all about avoiding the plight of a relegation battle again this season. Leicester aiming to put good distance between themselves and bottom spot. They have played very well so far today. Tierney's ball out wide. Now it's teased back to Palmer. And the third Leicester goal might just be job done, you feel. And it was Whelan delivering it into the near post, and it's gathered by Bagley.
Pick up on your draw.
It'd be hard to see Brighton and Hove Albion, especially with their scoring record, getting themselves back into this. But Leicester have lost leads this season. They were 2-0 up against Arsenal a few weeks ago before conceding 6.
Back on it, Julie. Get it off. You've got on one side, but the other side. Support it, support it.
Cleared away by Bergsvan, but no respite for Brighton at the moment. We'll have to wonder how long it might be before Melissa Phillips calls for reinforcements from the bench. England's Katie Robinson among the players available. Thibault. Driving on the defender. Only half cleared, only as far as Tierney. And now Rantalo shoots again, and the goalkeeper plunges onto that. Having scored one, she thought she'd take aim again. Bagley equal to it this time. Very little, though, in the game to get excited about so far. From a Brighton and Hove Albion perspective, they actually started quite promisingly, but failed to create much. Really a miscued clearance from Bergsvan. Just to get it wide, though, to Kuhlberg. On the burst. Tugged back by Peterman, but that doesn't halt her run. It's a brilliant foray upfield from Kuhlberg. Bergsvan. The build-up play has been a bit pedestrian at times, though. Good turn by Sarri. Kuhlberg. Pauline Bremer. Maisie Simons almost ran into the referee inadvertently. Torres-Dottir to Bergsvan again. Good turn that by Simons, completely took Tierney out of the game. And now here is Turland, it's her sort of chance! And a brilliant block from Sophie Howard. Well, it's been very rare today that we've seen Elizabeth Turland get a clear sight of goal like that. But she did, and Howard was in the way this time. Very impressively blocked by Sophie Howard. It's going to be Sarri to take the 5th corner of the day for Brighton, and this one's headed goalwards by Torres-Dottir, and it's grasped by the goalkeeper. And that's better from Brighton. Rare in the game that the palms of the goalkeeper, Leitzig, have been stung, but maybe Leicester have an injury to contend with here. I think it might be Josie Green who's gone down. Lots of Brighton flags dotted about Broadfield, which is also the home of League Two club Crawley Town in the Men's English Football League. Green hopefully will be able to continue. To hand it, though, to Willie Kirk's Leicester. They were the better team in the first half, and they've really established a vice-like grip on the game now. Well, they were clinical with Peterman at the end of the first half. How clinical were they at the start of the second, Leicester City? 20 seconds or so in. Palmer's effort blocked. Tierney, clever ball to find Rantala. And what a finish that is. The quality of finishing for Leicester City so far today has been of the highest calibre. Josie Green able to carry on again. Leicester temporarily down to 10, but I'm sure it won't be for very long. Let's see if it will get us back off and underway. Here's Thibaut. Sophie Howard. I think the big criticism for Brighton so far is that they just haven't worked the goalkeeper enough. There was real hope they could build on the Conti Cup victory here at home against West Ham United, but just haven't managed to do it. They scored 3 goals in the second halves of matches in the WSL so far this season as well, so the chances of a comeback at the moment look slim, but there is still plenty of time to go for them. A touch away from danger by Tierney. Lasada trying to recycle play. Torres Dottir roll it back to Bagley. He's had no chance with either goal. Well brought down by Simons. Did she catch Tierney inadvertently there? The referee says yes. He's in a good position to see it, Melissa Bergin. Regardless of whether it was intentional or not, a potential facial head injury. It has to be treated and taken really seriously. Leicester do love a league win against Brighton. And that is where they are heading at the moment. And indeed, if they were to win today, Leicester City, they would have picked up more points on the road this season than they did in the whole of last season in the league. And it's just 2 victories away from home last year did Leicester, albeit one of those was here in Sussex.
Josie finds you on that one before, you might be able to come out and go through Julie, and then to left. Palms left shoulder. Lena, please up front 2. Yeah, you, Utah. Please up 2. Go to that one if it goes there. Okay.
I've had a couple of stoppages already in this second half. Torres Dottir to thump it forward up towards Turland. Whedon was making the interception for Brighton. Forward by Green, little touch on towards Peterman from Tierney, who's clearly okay to continue. That's a poor back pass. Leicester will get the throw. Very much in an advanced position.
So, if we start coming back, you're the play round. If we start coming back, you're the play round.
Up by Kuhlberg to let it trickle out of play. No sign of any imminent activity on the Brighton bench just yet, but you'd have to think that Melissa Phillips will be thinking about it. Demanded a reaction after the defeat away at Liverpool, and then they've conceded 2 super goals. They've not created enough themselves. They don't look like getting back into the game at the moment. Here's Pattinson. At least the beauty of football is that things can change really quickly. Cleared away by Howard. by Tierney, who draws the foul, and Leicester have produced a terrific away performance so far. Chasing that is Sarri, but Thibaut was always going to be quicker to it, it looked like, with the shove in the back from the Greek international as well. The frustration goes on for the Brighton fans. You might be able to hear Willie Kirk in the background at times in the course of the game. Feels like he is kicking every ball in this one. Here's Palmer. Peterman back to Rantala. Now it's Courtney Nevin. Little touch from Tierney. Another tug on the shirt of Losada, it was. The Brighton captain wanted to get on with it quickly, but not able to do so. It's upfield by Bergsvan, but not very directional. That ball forward, and here come Leicester. Little flick by Peterman. No great conviction to what Brighton are doing in the game at the moment. Long it goes from Bagley. Headed by Thibaut. Taken down by Rule. Lovely touch by Sarri, even better from Simons. That's better from the home team. And this is Elizabeth Turland. That's come off Howard, and that'll be another corner to the Seagulls. Well, Sophie Howard has done a terrific job marking Elizabeth Turland effectively player for player in the game so far. But they need something from one of these set pieces. Set plays have maybe looked at a more profitable route to goal than any other for Brighton so far. Again, it's Sarri to swing it in. Again, it's towards Torres Dottir. And the free kick goes the way of Leicester City. And we're getting word that Brighton are preparing a substitution now. And it will be Katie Robinson, the player that we expected would most likely take to the fray. England international on in place of their tricky Sarri. Big cheer for Katie Robinson, but can she inspire Brighton with a route back into this game? The best of touches infield by Nevin, forward by Bergsvan. First chance for Robinson to try and get into the play. A hopeful ball more than anything from Bergsvan, headed away by Howard once more. Now Thibaut. Leicester still very much in control of this game. Forward by Howard. Nevin almost took that in her stride. Robinson. Asada trying to turn. Good close control by Simons again, but just had too many orange Leicester shirts around her. They're managing the game very well at the moment, Leicester City, slowing it down when they need to, and that'll be a yellow card for the Brighton captain, Vicky Lasada. It's a stop-start at the moment, and that, you feel, certainly suits the visitors better than the home team, who are desperately trying to get themselves back into it. Well, on Rantana this time. Well, there'll be more changes afoot for Brighton and Hove Albion. Hearing that Tatiana Pinto will come into the game shortly as well. Are the changes ultimately going to be too little too late? Leicester, just the one change so far after CJ Bott had to come off in the first half, very early in the game, injured. Howard. Can Brighton take heart from the fact that Leicester have only kept one clean sheet in the league so far this season? They can't get a hold of the game. Home fans getting increasingly frustrated here. Flick from Peterman, but easily through to Bagley again. Rule. Robinson. Away by Thibault. Neatly brought down, expertly brought down by Palmer. There's a confidence about Leicester City now in the game. Robinson. Well, we did say the changes were forthcoming. Maisie Simons, the latest player to leave the field, and here comes the aforementioned Tatiana Pinto. Can she help Brighton find the spark that they so desperately need? They're winless in 7 home games in the WSL. If it carries on, have to go back to early May, the end of last season, for Brighton and Hove Albion's last home league win. Just the couple of saves that Janina Leitzig has really had to make in the game so far, and they've both been straight at the goalkeeper. Hasn't been nearly as tested as much as I'm sure Melissa Phillips would have been hoping for. Rule. Nonetheless, the Brighton goal would certainly make the last 20 minutes or so interesting. Not over yet, held up by Turlan, but can't get beyond Howard, and have to credit Sophie Howard. Been excellent so far. Not easy to keep Elizabeth Turland quiet, but for the most part, the Leicester and Scotland defender has done just that. Pinto finding Pattinson. Bremer was calling for it. Pattinson went for the return, but Janice Cayman's there for Leicester City. Whelan. Torres-Dottir, headed by Robinson, and away again by Howard, who this time was caught by Turland's late challenge. Becoming an increasingly annoying and frustrating afternoon for the home supporters, but I think the referee has got the big decisions right for the most part, and Elizabeth Turland goes into the book for that late challenge. Well, both sides in action before the end of 2023 in games still to come. Brighton make the trip to Aston Villa, who had a difficult start to the season, of course, and for Leicester City, there is an away game at Manchester United in the Conti Cup before a home match against West Ham to finish the current year. Howard. Nevin. Rantala. Here's Green. Nevin looking long. Hitterman on the chase, hope for ball more than anything, and Bergsvand, good little dummy to turn away, but it's a great sliding challenge from Palmer. Whelan not able to battle through against her old side. And that's a lovely ball to Bremer, stretching that Leicester back line. Finally, it's Pauline Bremer going on her own. Was she fouled by Howard? Referee says play on. Robinson crosses, Turland! And that's gathered by the goalkeeper. That's pretty much as good as it's got for Leicester City, for Brighton and Hove Albion rather, in the game so far. A surging run forward by Bremer. Just under 2,000 have braved the rainy conditions to watch the game today. Sophie Howard has gone down injured. Injury stoppage that allows a little impromptu mini team talk for both head coaches. Melissa Phillips and Willie Kirk, both of whom came in very arduous, very difficult situations last season and managed to guide their respective clubs away from relegation trouble. And Leicester are rapidly moving up towards the relative comfort of mid-table at the moment. The way they're playing this season, they don't look like a team that is really going to be struggling. And for Brighton, they're still looking nervously over their shoulders. Howard should be fine to carry on, it looks like. Again, they'll be temporarily down to 10 players, Leicester City, if only for a moment or two. Wow, and straight back into the action to beat Turland to the header. Tierney by Green. Leicester City certainly don't need to force the issue now. They might be about to make another substitution very shortly, we're hearing. By Leipzig, not the best of clearances, although it wasn't the best of back passes to her. Here's Torres Dottir. Pattinson and Cayman went for it. The throw goes Brighton's way. Is there enough belief in this Brighton side they can come back into it? Pattinson, Pinto's arriving here. Maybe should have done better with that. Tatiana Pinto, the substitute, running onto it. And Leicester City let her go. And Thala was supposed to be marking her. Missy Goodwin will replace Josie Green here for Leicester City. Remy Simpson also ready to take to the field for the Foxes as they look to preserve their advantage. Josie Green, who was on a yellow card, so that might be part of the reason why she's gone off. Goodwin just waiting to get the go-ahead. And Remy Simpson will replace Lena Peterman, who got the scoring started. It's at the end of the first half, end of normal time. It was a stunning goal, and 2 goals pretty much either side of the break have done the damage and might have done the job for Leicester City on the day as well. Brighton have never really recovered. Things are always made far worse if you concede a goal right at the start of the second half, as they did as well. Pattinson, that's a nice flick to Vicky Losada. Turland slipped to the vital moments, and allowed Tierney to come back in and regain possession. Now Whelan. Howard. Willie Kirk still asking plenty of his Leicester players. Job is not done yet. Nevin looking to put it forward towards the newly arrived Simpson. Back it goes though to Bagley. Headed by Thibault. Greeted warmly by the manager watching on as well. Goodwin. Goodwin gets it back from Aileen Whelan. And this hits the cross in the end. Well, just over 10 minutes to go. Brighton might as well try and throw caution to the wind. Things have changed though at Leicester City, particularly in contrast to last season. The first 9 games of last year in the WSL, they lost each and every one of them. The first 9 games of this campaign, if it stays like this, and they will have 11 points. Measure the job that Willie Kirk has done. A word from the referee, and I don't think any more than that for Tatiana Pinto. Headed by Rule. And back tenaciously by Rantala. That typifies the Leicester City approach today into these last 10 minutes. And maybe a clean sheet on the mind of Willie Kirk as well. They haven't kept many of those in recent times. Just the one this season, and that in the victory over Everton. 8th of October, also the last date of Leicester's last league win. And they might seal it here. Simpson to have a route to goal. She's found Rantala, who pulls it back. And Whelan trying to smuggle it home against her old club. Forward by Howard. Net in. Offside flag up. How much conviction is in this Brighton side that they really can salvage something from the match. Turland has largely been starved of service. Braves fans got to be careful with the bounce of the ball. Only as far as Rantala. Pumped forward by Torres Dottir. And Turland has got away from Howard, and she's in! And Elizabeth Turland is on the score sheet again, and Brighton are back in it. It's yet another WSL goal for Elizabeth Turland. She's scored 6 of Brighton's 9 so far this season. And maybe, just maybe, there is hope for the home team. Leicester will be desperately disappointed, I think, with the manner of the goal. It's a simple long ball forward from Torres Dottir. And for once, Turland evaded Howard. And it's going to be a fascinating finish to this one. Totally out of nothing, that goal. And Leicester's hopes of a clean sheet are certainly at an end. And perhaps it's not going to be the simple and straightforward march to victory that some of a Leicester City persuasion might have imagined it would be. It really looked like there was nothing in the game for Brighton, but you can always rely on Turland's finishing ability. Here's Missy Goodwin at the other end, though. Leicester have got to manage the game even more carefully now, especially with a free kick like this. Are they going to hoist the ball into the box, or are they going to try and just keep possession? Floated in by Nevin, spun off the head of Pinto, still not properly cleared by Brighton. The deflection eventually takes it looping into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Elizabeth Turland right up there in the goal-scoring stakes in the WSL again. Joint top of the scoring charts. But it won't mean anything unless Brighton can salvage a point from the game. Nina Leitzig has had almost nothing to do. Not that Leicester City have created plenty of chances either, in fairness. Lasada's ball. Once it gets to that. There's some excitement in the crowd in the minutes that remain. Here's Nevin. And she's still kept hold of it. Courtney Nevin going on. Palmer. Here's Kamen. Goodwin. Whelan trying to lay it back towards Simpson. How much nervousness is there in the Leicester City ranks, you wonder? Given their run of games without a win. They looked so comfortable at 2-0 up. They're feeling a bit less comfortable now. Goodwin's chasing this. Pattinson gets across. Bremer. Managed to get it clear here, Brighton and Leicester with the opportunity. And it was Tierney with the effort from an impossible angle. And nobody could get the touch on it. Now Turland at the other end is on the break. A robust sliding tackle from Amy Palmer. Job is far from done yet for Leicester. On by Whelan. Good flick that by Bremer. Pattinson. Suddenly Brighton look like they've got some belief, and it's Pattinson to swing in a great cross. 2-2! It's Turland again! They've left it late, but it feels really great for Brighton and Hove Albion. They were dead and buried in the game. What a ball from Pattinson, and the diving header from Turland. How could they leave her unmarked? She is so deadly in front of goal. That is 7 for the WSL season now for Elizabeth Turland. And everything she touches turns to goals. And can Brighton go on and win it now? Well, this was the finish of the game that nobody would have been expecting, but Leicester's lead is wiped out. And now Willie Kirk's team under pressure to try and make sure they don't lose the game. Cleared away by Bergsvan. Howard is nowhere to be seen again for the second goal, and it's Casey Robinson. She's got the wrong side of the defender. It's Turland on a hat-trick. Well, she might as well go for it. What a player she is. And you have to give Brighton all credit for a fantastic and stirring recovery. It's been a disappointing run of form for them at home. Of that there is no question, but even a point in the circumstances would be a good one, you feel, for Melissa Phillips, the head coach, and really something to build on the performance. They've won it back half the pitch again. It's Vicky Lasada to go for goal, and it's gathered by Leipzig. Well, Leicester look all over the place all of a sudden, and Lasada was looking to win it. Pattinson. Here we go, into added time. And would you believe it, 11 minutes are going to be added on. Well, that is more than enough time for a winner. They've had quite a few injury stoppages. Aileen Whelan has been booked, the Leicester captain, and from the position where they were going into the last 10 minutes, Leicester City, and really cruising in the game, they have contrived to be in a position where they may yet lose the game. Brighton can smell the chance of victory here. It's Pattinson again to whip in the cross. Well, you have to love football on days like this. The momentum swing in the game has been absolutely unbelievable. Bremer wins the throw. All Brighton all of a sudden. Leicester look like they're hanging on. I see Charlie's Rule has made a late run to the edge of the box. Pinto. Delivered in by Kuhlberg. Turnand is there again. Bergsvand for goal from a very long way out. Saw glory before her. Anything could yet still happen in the game. Pattinson. Hit it early, but Howard's there on the intercept. And she was a player who had looked in contention for player of the match. She had played so well. But suddenly, there's two clinical finishes from Elizabeth Turland have completely turned this one on its head. The referee, I think, wants another match ball. Still plenty of time left for a winner. Maybe Leicester can have the final say. You do get the sense that surely there'll be one more chance in this game at least. Whelan. Dragged down by Pattinson, free kick to Leicester. Courtney Nevin standing over it. The wind has just picked up a bit. Maybe that will help Nevin to really swing in this delivery. Not the best of deliveries, easily cleared by Pinto. Now then, here comes the counter. Pattinson leading the charge again. Oh, and she's looking early for Robinson. Robinson has got there. Support is on the way. Bergsvand laying it back. Turnand! Oh, just wide. That would have been the hat-trick. And that would have been the most extraordinary counter-attack with which to seal victory. Unselfish from Bergsvand. And Turnand, by her high standards, will feel she should have scored. Look at the reaction of Turnand and her teammates. It should have been 3-2. Fine margins again in the WSL. And now Leicester come forward with Seamson. That's the beauty of a scoreline like this. It could go either way. Rantala, it's her delivery. Oh, and it really reached Goodwin at the back post. Poppy Pattinson has to battle. And it's Brighton's throw. And still, 6 added minutes to go. Cleared away by Kuhlberg. Touched on towards Turland. Only Howard between her and the goal. She's going to look for Katie Robinson instead. Witzig had to be careful, kept her calm. Away by Nevin. Fantastic finish to this game. A game that for large spells has sort of petered on without any great quality. All 4 goals have been expertly taken. Really exciting encounter for the crowd here, and a reminder, I suppose, never to leave a game early. Here is Torres Dottir. Urgency from both sets of players, but now it's Kuhlberg in to win it back, and she's taken it in her stride. Loses out. And suddenly it's end-to-end, and both sides are leaving gaps at the back. Rantala trying to exploit that. Oh, she was looking for Seamson. It's Rantala again. Do not take your eyes off this for 1 second. Aileen Whelan. Let's come back to Whelan again. Rantala again. Neither team has got control of this. And Rantala cannot find the target. Well, there have been chances for both in stoppage time. Elizabeth Turland has been awarded the Player of the Match award. The kind of game that you just don't want to finish now. No, yet still see some very late drama. Another free kick this time to Brighton. Well, Pattinson standing over it. Brighton can really sense the possibility of that first home league win of the season. Poppy Pattinson, who's set up 1 goal already. Another dangerous ball. Howard is there. Torres Dottir. And it's Robinson. Slipped to the vital moment. Robinson has kept it in play. Robin made the challenge, and the free kick goes to Brighton. Two minutes or so of the 11 added to go. One good delivery, and then a first contact for Brighton, all they need. It's Poppy Pattinson with it. And it was steered goalwards and wide. Leicester players on the line, fairly confident it was going to drift wide of goal. Might have been Kuhlberg at the far post. Nevin. Rantala, still for the running. Both sides know they can't afford a mistake at this stage. A 5th goal of the game would win it for either team. retreat. Touched on by Tierney. Away by Torres-Dottir. This could be the last attack. Rantala. Tackled by Robinson. Maybe the last attack will be a Brighton one. Turner will chase. Howard will surely get there. Away by Leipzig. Tierney finding Nevin. Almost got it over the top towards Seamson. Whelan's ball. Goodwin. Lets it bounce over ahead. Away by Pattinson. Bremer. Couldn't wriggle away. Imagine the throw will go Leicester's way. No, it's to Brighton. And Bremer finding Pinto. They've got the player over again. It's Pauline Bremer. Turner in the middle. Bremer went for goal. And it was turned behind by Leipzig. And that is it. A stirring late fight back from Brighton Hove Albion to salvage a point in a thrilling finish here at Broadfield Stadium. It ends to a piece in what will be a disappointing result for Willie Kirk and Leicester City. His side had full control of the game after Lena Peterman and Jutta Rantala scored either side of the half-time whistle to put them in complete command, or so it seemed. Brighton left it very late to really wake up and get themselves into the game, but 2 goals from the prolific Elizabeth Turland, taking her WSL tally to 7 for the season, salvages a draw that Brighton just about deserved on the balance of play. Leicester cannot believe they let the lead slip. 7 games in the league now without a win for Willie Kirk's team. Brighton's wait for a home win goes on. It finishes Brighton 2, Leicester 2. And let's take a look at the highlights of what was an extraordinary afternoon's football. Well, this was the story of the match. A quiet first half in terms of chances. Leicester through Lena Peterman heading wide. Brighton rarely threatened. Maisie Simons with the delivery. Maria Torres-Dottir couldn't stretch to meet it. And then sub Courtney Nevin on early in the first half for Leicester. Tried a drive, that was turned away by Emma Kuhlberg. Again, Brighton's efforts were relatively few and far between. Elizabeth Turland seeing the effort saved, and right on half-time, Leicester went in front. Lena Peterman with a super snapshot. Wonderful finish to make it 1-0 to the visitors. Third goal of her WSL career for Leicester, and then less than half a minute into the second half, it was 2. Palmer's shot was blocked. Tierney set it up. Jutta Rantala curling it into the top corner. Wonderfully done for 2-0. Leicester were in complete control at that stage in the game. Again, Brighton only threatening sporadically. Turden blocked off by the determined challenge of Sophie Howard. Katie Robinson was introduced into the game. Turden's header straight at the goalkeeper, and it seemed as though Leicester would keep their lead, especially when Tatiana Pinto failed to do better. It felt like it wasn't going to be Brighton's day. This the goal that changed everything though. Torres-Dottir's long ball forward, Turland outpacing Howard, goalkeeper stayed at home, and they had one back with 8 minutes to go. Suddenly the momentum changed, the atmosphere changed, and how about this for an equaliser? Route one up the left-hand channel. What a ball in from Poppy Pattinson, and Turland for 2-2. A diving header, and she's rescued Brighton yet again. And they thought they could have won it right at the end, Brighton, but Turland couldn't hit the target when, by her standards, it almost looked easier to score. A thrilling game, 4 goals, and the points shared. Full time here, Brighton Hove Albion 2, Leicester City 2.